everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Apostles House Connect. I'm your host, Tashay Carles, and today I will be joined by Miss Kimberly Bent, one of our clients here at the Apostles House.
Good
Miss-
morning.
Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me, not us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, Kimberly will be sharing with us her story and her journey through homelessness as a homeless woman with children residing in the Apostles' House. So thank you again, Kim, for coming on.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it. To kick things off, Kim, can you just share a little bit about yourself and how you became homeless?
Sure. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of two boys. Worked my entire life. Never had an issue, step forward. But then I became ill at one point. And due to that and due to being the sole breadwinner in my home, hours started getting shorter, paychecks started getting smaller. Trying to stay on top of my medical needs and making sure I was okay, took a big toll on the house in whole. So it was either, put food on the table, pay a bill, try to communicate with the landlord. There are landlords, unfortunately, out there that, just want their money. And I truly understand that. But I tried to do my best. And before I knew it, we were in eviction court and tried to get ahead. But when you're so far down, it's like trying to swim up for water and take a breath and you can't get there. So yeah, I was in eviction court before I knew it and became homeless.
It sounds like not that everybody's story is the same, but there's some similarities in your stories as are those of other clients we've
Right.
interfaced with. How long have you been homeless, Kim, and how did you find the Apostles' House?
I've been here at the Apostles' House since October 29th of 2019, actually. I'll never forget that day. And I went down to social services because I do not have very close or very much family. I just have my son's grandmother, and based on their situations, it wasn't going to happen where they were going to be able to take us in. So I had to find alternatives, an alternative situation. So I went down to social services. I was on unemployment, so I knew I wasn't going to be eligible for much benefits. And unfortunately, social services only helps if you're receiving cash benefits. I wasn't eligible for that. So what happened is they gave me a pamphlet of shelters in the area. And I called a few, and then I found the Apostles' House. I reached out on my own. I spoke with Miss Deidre.
Yeah.
She told me, yes, there's definitely room available. I would have to get a letter from welfare stating I wasn't eligible. So it was a bunch of running around, tons of running around. Then I met up and linked with City of Newark, took the initiative. I didn't even wait for an appointment. I went straight down there as soon as I had that letter from welfare, and I sat with an intake worker and I was here.
Wow. And how long have you been at the Apostles' House? Do you mind my asking?
I want to say a year and 8 months, about a year and 8 months.
And are there any programs that you participated in since the beginning of your stay, or?
Absolutely. I took the initiative to involve myself in anything they had available. I wanted to have all those resources. I wanted to make sure that I took full advantage of them, spoke to whoever I could speak to, talk about scenarios, talking about how to get back into the workforce, how to get back into getting my resume up to date. So whatever they had here to offer, I took full advantage of, as well as I put my sons involved in.
Wonderful. Many people coming into or staying in a shelter or transitional housing type setup, they have many different expectations and experiences. How would you describe your experience staying at the Apostles' House?
I'm not going to lie, coming in, I was terrified. I've never been in this situation before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the living situations. All I knew was I was coming into a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, my experience coming in, I felt welcomed. I was given a lot of information. It's information overload when you first walk in. I was asked if I needed anything, if we needed any toiletries or anything in that matter, bedding, whatever. So that definitely took a lot of stress off of my back, because not only am I coming into a situation I've never been in before, but I'm coming in with my children.
Yes.
So protective mommy mode comes in. But when I felt so comfortable coming through those doors because I was welcomed, and that was very important. They say first impressions are the ones that stick the most, and that was my first impression, and it's just been that way ever since.
Amazing. Well, I'm happy to hear that. I hope viewers listening to this, will have somewhat of a different perception of what a shelter is. I actually am really quite proud of where I work. I know that is works very hard to make sure that when somebody walks into one of our facilities, that they feel welcome. One, we understand that they're going through an enormous amount of stress. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody wants to be homeless with their children. And so we go to great lengths to make sure that when you come in, you feel like you're at home. We make sure that we offer programs and services that are going to be beneficial to your transitioning from this one place into a better situation.
Absolutely.
I'm happy you've had a positive experience.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not been easy. There is hard work. You have to put in that effort, but as long as you're putting in that effort, that you're like, everyone's not going to do everything for you. You have to do things for yourself. You have to advocate for yourself as well. So just have to keep that in mind, that you have to push forward too. Not everyone is going to do the work that you're supposed to be doing. You have to put in that effort as well.
Absolutely. What are some of the misconceptions that people have about folks that are homeless and living in a homeless shelter?
I think the biggest stereotype that they put out there, you're addicted to drugs. You're on some type of substance. You're lazy. You don't want to work. You want to live off the system. You want everything to come to you easily. And that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of different obstacles that you have out there, especially as a mom, and especially as sometimes a single mom.
Yeah.
You do have small children. You have different circumstances that put you into a situation. And I don't think at all that people should think that it's because we're on drugs, or, like I said, I've worked my entire life. I received welfare when my first son, who's now older, was a baby. And I didn't receive any type of assistance for 17 years. So I never expected to become homeless. I never expected to be in that position, but it does happen. It happens to, you never know what a person is going through. Yes. And you have to keep that in mind and just know that it's not all bad things. Homelessness happens to everyone. And especially nowadays with COVID and everything that's happening, there's so much more that's going on out there. So we're not all lazy. We're not, we're doing what we have to do. It's just once you get into that struggle and you get so far deep in it that you couldn't imagine that you're there. But it is, and it happens, and it's reality.
Thank you for that, Kim. What advice would you give to someone who's on the verge of becoming homeless, and you've been there, so you know what it's like to have that feeling of being stuck? Where do I go? What do I do? Who do I turn to?
Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You think that, and I know as being a single mom, I've done everything since my children were small. So I felt like, I can get through this. I can do it. I don't need help. You need to ask for help. When you feel like you're at your wit's end and you can't do anything else, you need to be able to ask for help. Be your best advocate. Speak for yourself. Use your words. Speak if you feel like something is not right, and speak up for yourself. Just ask for help. Look for resources. Because like I said, my journey here was so much more than just homelessness. Like, I had to look far and deep into myself and get through things that I had to work on to make me a better me that I am today. And through the Apostles' House and their programs that they offered, not only for just homelessness, it's to help build up a woman, help a woman feel like she can do it. So I was proud to be here, and I'm still proud to be here because it has taught me so much more.
Excellent. What's next for Kimberly and her family?
We are almost ready to transition. I'm so happy to say we are one step closer. So hopefully within the next month or two, we should be in our own home again. I always had that work ethic instilled in me, but I think it's more so now because when you do become homeless, you feel like your whole world caved in on you. So I have now these tools that I can see that budgeting was a big thing. So budgeting and what they did to help me with that here has helped me a lot. So I don't foresee homelessness in my future. I feel very positive. I'm working. My older son is working. Um, Taking the resources and just everything that they've taught me here at the Apostles House and just moving forward into our own home.
Beautiful. Well, Kim, again, thank you so very much for coming on and sharing with us your story. We wish for you much success as you work
Thank you.
to establish independence and self-sufficiency. And, if there's anything I want to leave with you, it's the words of Ziegler. It's that always remember that your present situation is not your final destination.
Amen to that.
A big and hearty thank you to all our viewers and supporters for tuning in and watching us and supporting us. We really appreciate it. Join us again on Friday, August 6th for another episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.